Welcome back to Death Before Booze, a true crime paranormal podcast. I'm Sam.
I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Sam.
I miss you. I feel like it's been too long. I mean, we've only been talking for like an hour or more before we actually record. So, yeah. Hi. I don't think we have anything new to report on right this second, unless I forgot something. Okay, so then, what is our topic for today, which I forgot to look up?
Okay, our topic is Eurotrip.
Eurotrip. Eurotrip. Makes me think of the Griswold movie.
Yeah.
European Vacation.
Or the movie
Eurotrip.
The 2000s Eurotrip, which...
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my band every Sunday. Tells me she's at church, but she doesn't go. Scotty doesn't know. That's all I remember. That's all I know of that movie. Ken watched it once while I was around. I was like, and this... Oh, Michelle Trachtenberg was in it. You know she died?
Yes.
It's sad. I liked her.
Sad.
Harriet the Spy.
Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay. So, I don't remember when, but it was in the past couple weeks. I talked about Matt Rife, the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He bought Ed and Lorraine's house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He didn't.
And he owns Annabelle now.
No, he doesn't. He does not own Annabelle. He's housing her, but he doesn't own her. It's weird. He owns the house, he owns the museum, but the artifacts in the museum he has licensing for the next 5 years. But he does not own them. And then hold on. So today I was on the Instawebs. And our buddy, Zach Bagel Bites, he was like, he had like a story up. And it's like, yes, I heard about Matt Rife. No, I did not have the opportunity. And no, Matt Rife did not consult me about this sale. So.
Oh, he has to consult you?
He's a little butthurt about it, I feel. I feel it through the story.
He wanted it.
But I definitely think in the next couple of years, Matt Rife will sell it to Zach. Zach's going to own all that shit. I think it's all a ploy. I think he knows. I think they all know. It's all a conspiracy. They have the lizard people under the Denver International Airport, and that's it. True. DIA and the lizard people, and then there are aliens in the backyard.
I am actually surprised that they sold it, but I'm not, because I don't know, the son-in-law has always kind of been a little money hungry to me, but
yeah, I don't like him.
That's just my opinion.
Tony Serpa.
Yeah, my opinion.
Serpa. Yeah, not really a big fan of his either. But I think that's the housekeeping. That's what I wanted to tell. I wanted to say that. Yes. That was a big update in Sammyland. Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch that episode? It is a big update. The episode of The Office where Jim comes back from Connecticut and the Stanford branch is closing and he goes back to Scranton? No. What is it? Yeah, that's right. He goes back to Scranton, and Kelly's like, oh my God, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes had a baby, and they named it Surrey, and then Brad Pitt and this one had a baby, and they named it this. And he's like, so what's new with you? And she's like, I just told you. That's kind of how I feel right now. There's nothing new in my world, but let me tell you about Zach Bagel Bites being butthurt about his friend Matt Rife buying the fucking occult museum. I'm done.
I like it.
Yep.
I'm a fan.
Oh my God, imagine if Zach Bagel Bites had purchased it. He could have had bi-coastal fucking museums, and then we would have had a museum. We could have had
all the time.
Bitch, I would have had a season pass. Do they make those for museums? I don't know, but I would have had it.
They should. I mean, for him, I feel like they should.
I feel like they should. If I lived in Vegas, can I tell you? If ever I hit the lottery, I'm not going to tell anybody, but there will be signs. And one of them will be that I will now have a house in Vegas, and a couple times a year, you're just not going to see me. I'll just be in Vegas being a tour guide at that museum. I don't even want to get paid. I just want to walk around there. That's it. That's how you're going to know I hit the lottery. That's one of the ways. I mean, that, and I'll end up on Below Deck somehow, some way, because I'm obsessed with that show.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Do you ever watch these shows now? We are totally on a tangent. But do you ever watch these shows now, like Below Deck or Love Island? And you're like, damn, would I have done that when I was younger? I don't think I would have done Love Island. There's way too many bodily fluids being like mixed up. And I definitely feel that's how you get mono or crabs.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. But I definitely think I would have done, if I knew that yachting was like a thing when I was like coming out of college, I think I would have done that. You get to travel. Okay, you get to work, but like you get to travel, you get some really nice tips. Like I would have done that in the summers.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm a whole fucked up mess in itself, so I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
So.
let us know if you would have done like a Below Deck thing, or if there's some other show like The Bachelor or Survivor or like any of those. If you would have been The Amazing Race, if you would have like, even if you're like now age, like you're in your 20s now and you're like, yeah, no, I would totally go do that. Like, I want to know. Like, would you do it? 'Cause I want to do it.
I feel like I would have done, like, I would have wanted to do Big Brother because it's in a house and there's no, like,
I've never watched Big Brother.
It's really just like an elimination, like, hey, do some challenges and blah, 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 blah.
What are you talking about bug eating? Where did bugs come
factor.
in? Ew! No, I would never. I would never. Oh, no. Joe Rogan, absolutely not. Goodbye.
No.
Bye, motherfucker.
So I think that would be the safest bet. I would like to do that one. But yeah.
I think if I was younger and a celebrity, I would have been on that show. Oh, what was it called? The one where they have to, like, it's all the celebrities and they have to, like, escape the house and get to the car. I think it was on Hulu. I forget what it was called. Kim Zolciak-Biermann was on it while she was getting divorced or is getting divorced or... I don't know either. Shit. Get Out? I probably just called Get Out. Fucking tag me in. I don't fucking know. But that was a something. You just gotta run down this really long driveway and make it out of the gate before the other people in the house can like hit the button to shut the gate and you win like $1 million or something. I could be really off. I watched the whole season, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's fine. All right, so Eurotrip. Now that I've talked about everything but that, if you want to cut this out, I apologize, but we're good.
It's okay. Yeah. So today we're going to Finland because I'm going to talk about the Lake Bodom murders.
Lake Bodom murder.
Bodom.
Do I know this one? I think I might. No.
I mean, probably it's one of the most... honestly, like, this is the thing where Lake Bodom is a Finnish lake in Espoo. The lake measures 3 kilometers, almost 2 miles in length, and 1 kilometer, about a half mile in width. And it's beautiful. Everything about Finland's wonderful. It seems like everybody has fun there, and you just want to live there to be like, oh, I'm so relaxed. But this is the place when you talk about Lake Bodom, a lot of people have is this dark history of it. So it's surrounded by 3 districts in Espoo. A lot of people enjoy again, you go camping there, you go fishing, you go boating, and then in the winter you go cross-country skiing. It's all wonderful. Beautiful.
Until it's
However,
not. Dun,
until
dun,
it's not.
dun.
Yeah. So this was an old one, June 4th, 1960. A group of 4 teenagers decided they were going to camp along the shore. It's Malia Ermeli Berklo
Nailed it.
and Aja Tulaki Maki were 15 at the time. And they were accompanied by their boyfriends, Seppo Andro Boisman and Nils Wilman Gustafsson. Both of them were 18. To me, it's still a little bit of an age gap, but who is counting? Everything
it was the
seemed
60s.
great. I guess. Everything seemed great until it wasn't. So, sometime between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., Aja, Malia, and Seppo were stabbed and bludgeoned to death.
Wow! Jump right into it, why don't you?
Nils suffered fractured facial bones and a broken jaw and a concussion, but he survived.
Okay.
He said when he was questioned, he was attacked first, and the killer assumed him to be dead, so they attacked the rest of the group. And then he stated later he got a glimpse of the attacker. They were dressed in black and had bright red eyes coming at him. I think he's just going through some shock, but that's totally fine.
I think it was the lizard people. They started there.
Could be that too.
And then they landed
that too.
at DIA. Or could absolutely be aliens. Please continue.
Yeah, no, I agree. Malia was found undressed from the waist down and lying on top of the tent. It appeared she had the most injuries of all of the victims. She was stabbed multiple times, even after she was already dead.
Why?
So she's on top of the tent and the rest of them are inside. So as they were kind of alerted to the scene, they kind of could see like how the attack had happened. But 6 a.m., a group of bird watchers saw the tent collapsed inward and a blonde man was walking away from the site. And the tent was soaked in blood. So, I don't know if they didn't realize it was soaked in blood. Yeah, I don't know if they didn't realize, but like it wasn't until 11 a.m. when another person, Esko Ovia Johannesson, discovered the bodies and alerted the team. So, it discovered the bodies and alerted the police. Sorry, but that was at 11. So 6 a.m. apparently people saw what was going on, but saw like. You see a blood-soaked tent and you don't do anything, I'm going to assume they didn't realize it was blood. We'll make the assumption. So, during the investigation, the killer had attacked them from outside of the tent with an unidentified blunt object, so maybe a rock, and definitely a knife.
Okay.
The murder weapon was never found.
Okay.
Upon searching, the killer had taken items including the keys of the victims' motorcycles, but the bikes were still there. Clothing was missing, including Nils' shoes, but his shoes were found 500 meters away from the murder scene, which isn't even a half a mile, and his shoes were covered in blood. It's just weird. It didn't sink as like a robbery or anything.
And Nils is the one who lived?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So here's where the problem started, because we know that there's problems. The police didn't cordon off the area. Because why would you?
What the fuck, man? Like, guys, isn't there like a checklist? Like, isn't there a checklist somewhere? Like, hey, if you're a cop, here's your checklist. You know, dead body, check. Put the tape up, check. Like, I feel like...
Make sure nobody jumps in the site.
Check.
Perfect. Like, you know, like, they didn't record the details of the scene. And almost immediately, they allowed people and a crowd to come and disturb the crime scene.
What is this, the Villisca axe murders? Did they make s'mores? Like, oh, look, they had marshmallows.
Touch the murder weapon.
Yeah, no, this doesn't...
Touch the tent.
This bag of marshmallows does not have blood on it. We can totally use them. Find a stick. Not that stick. There's blood. Go out a little bit further. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Do you want to see the shoes? Do you want to see that, like, you know?
Oh, didn't you need new shoelaces? I found some. They're red. They'll match your kicks.
Curious, after the police left, because of course they didn't, you know, tape off anything. Curious onlookers and campers came to look at the scene.
How do they know? It's the 60s. It's not like you're on Facebook and it's like, oh, robbery at Target and now we're all like stealing TVs.
I assume it's kind of like the bird watchers were like, hey, there's something going on over there. And everyone's like, hey, what's going on up there? So I don't know if people, and it is a popular place. Like, it is a popular lake space, and where they were was just off of, I don't know. Some people were like, oh, I guess I'm not camping there today, but let's look to see what they left behind.
They're sending like smoke signals.
Right.
We forgot our marshmallows. There's some over here.
There might be some over there. So to help rectify this situation, because of course everybody was like, you guys are such idiots. You didn't do all that. They enlisted the help of soldiers to search for items around the lake. But by then, the place had already been trampled and new items weren't found. Even items that they had found prior were not found. Because just like the Villisca axe murders, you just want to take something from there, which...
Do you though? Do you?
I don't want to, but other people do. And that's, you know what?
I mean, I might take it after, like, the trial. Like, you know, if there was, like, a bulk sale and, like, you know, it's like, what is that show on TV where it's like, yep, and they, like, do the Storage Wars.
Oh, Storage Wars.
Like, if they had, like, a police version of that, and it's like, you could get murder stuff, or you could get cocaine, or you could get boxes of nothing. Like, man, I think I might bid on something like that.
Yeah, I might too, because it's interesting, and we're creatures of, like, curiosity. But if things are still bloody, I'm probably not going to go over there and touch anything.
No, I don't want to get dirty doing it.
No. So they had a couple of suspects. Their first one, of course, was Nils, because he was the only survivor. So a lot of suspicion was cast on him.
But how did he break his own jaw?
Well, here's the thing. Note the date, March 2004. That's 44 years later, almost, that they arrested him.
What?
So between, like, the time it happened, so 1960, and 2004, they were just kind of like, and got their foot up their ass. I don't really know what was going on, but, like, they went after Nils because, of course.
That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, okay, the week of, maybe I would be like, I still want to know how he broke his own jaw, but...
Exactly.
40 plus years later, like, you didn't even have his shoes. Somebody took them, probably.
Well, who knows at that point? But they were like, okay, this is a little weird. But again, 40 years later, a lot of stuff goes away, which we'll see how that works out. In early 2005, the Finnish National Bureau of Investigation had new forensic evidence that led to the case that could be solved. So according to the prosecution's interpretation of the bloodstains, Nils was drunk, he left the tent, he attacked his girlfriend Mila in a jealous rage, and then he turned on the other two, which is what led to his jaw being broken. So he got into a fight with his friend. His friend's, fractured his jaw, and then he killed him. Because he got so mad, this escalated into murder. He then hid his shoes, returned to the scene, and faked the rest of his injuries. This is what the prosecution was saying. It's not terrible, but it...
Did the friend have defensive wounds that would indicate he punched somebody? Because if you punch somebody hard enough to break their jaw, I feel like you would have fucked up knuckles.
Again, they just... nothing from the scene, like, nothing said any of those things, and I guess the autopsy didn't really look too hard into that.
Wow.
But, all right. But anyway, so the trial started in August of 2005. The shoes worn by the killer were meant to be hidden, but they were found 500 yards away. So they said, well, this is clearly you, because, they did discover the shoes belonged to Nils because he was barefoot. Because the DNA analysis proved that the 3 victims' blood was on the shoes, but Nils's blood was not on the shoes. So that's where they're thinking he killed them and then he hid his shoes. But why were they not going to find them like half a mile later? It's beyond me.
And wasn't he bleeding too? Like, how was his blood not on them? Unless he was, like, if he was wearing them, his blood would be on them because he was bleeding too. Didn't he get stabbed?
Right. No.
Oh.
He just got hit in the head.
Oh.
The prosecution argued his injuries occurred at a different time than the attack of the murdered victims. So he committed the murders, faked the theft of the items, injured himself, and then went back to the tent barefoot to pretend to be unconscious. They also added the 2 bird watchers who saw the collapsed tent at 6 a.m, saw a tall blonde man at the scene, and they did identify this to be Nils. Like, oh, here's the lineup. Plus, it was said a decade after the event, he had bragged to a woman that he did commit the crime. Because you just can't keep it a secret. And according to testimony, Nils had muttered to an officer, "What's done is done, I'll get 15 years." Kind of weird. The defense, however, argued the murderers worked outside of the tent and would be incapable of committing the murders with injuries he sustained. So, because he had like the fractured jaw, like whatever, there's no way he would have been able to murder them with those injuries, which is why the prosecution said he did it to himself after, but we digress. Plus, the crime scene was completely contaminated. There was lack of physical evidence tying him to any of the weapons that were possibly used.
Thank you. I know.
So, October 7th, 2005, he was acquitted of the charges. The court said the prosecution's evidence was inconclusive and it failed to show a motive appropriate to a crime that had such extreme violence. And as time passed, the certainty of the facts were impossible to say as truth. They actually paid him 440,900 euros, which is the equivalent to $52,000, compensation for wrongful detention and mental suffering.
Good.
And prosecutors did not appeal the verdict.
Okay.
Now, so that's really where it sat, but there were other suspects involved that they never really came to link them to it. So one guy was Carl Vladimir Gilstrom. He's a kiosk keeper of the OAT station, and was known to be very hostile with the campers.
Okay.
There was no hard evidence to link him to the murders. In town, people did say Carl was violent. He cut down trees, he threw rocks at people, and he didn't like children.
Well, when you act like a child, I get it.
Right. He also made a supposed confession. He claimed he had killed them to his neighbor, but he was drunk, and he, again, was always kind of drunk. So he quickly denied it later. He was like, "Oh, I was drunk. I didn't know what I was saying." Blah blah.
Okay.
Also, his wife provided an alibi for him, which she later recanted because she said her husband threatened to kill her if she implicated him in the murders.
Oh.
Some did come forward later to say they did see him coming from the murder scene, but they were too afraid to call the police about it.
Was he blonde?
Sure what he was gonna do. Yeah. So he could have been, his shape looked very similar to the other.
Okay.
An interesting exchange happened. Carl told a friend of this that he had killed the teens, then asked what he should do. His friend didn't really believe him because he's like, "I don't know what this guy's all about." But he said, "You should drown yourself because you'll be spending the rest of your life in prison." And a few hours later, Carl returned to the lake where he proceeded to drown himself.
He's dead? He committed suicide? Completed suicide? I'm sorry, that was really insensitive of me. Completed suicide.
After telling a friend, "What should I do?" and his friend's like, "I guess you should just drown yourself then." So he did. So he seemed like a pretty high suspect as well.
Okay.
Again.
My money's on him or the aliens. Continue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are the only two good ones right now.
The third technically suspect is Hans Assaman, a German-born Finnish citizen who lived several miles from the lake. A series of books published said he was the one behind the murders, but he had a strong alibi for the night of the murders, so it wasn't really taken seriously. On the morning of the 6th of June, 2 days after the murders, he had shown up to the hospital in bloody clothes. He spoke incoherently, and his fingernails appeared to be dirted black.
Ew.
The blonde man the bird watchers identified could have been him, considering when this detail came out, Hans did shave his head. So, his clothes he was wearing did match the description the bird watchers gave. Also, Hans was already a murder victim or a suspect in the past, including the case of the death of a 17-year-old Finnish girl in 1953.
No.
He was also linked to 3 other unsolved cases.
What the fuck?
Nothing really, they didn't link him after that, but
So he had bloody clothes in the ER and they didn't fucking take him and test him? Where was the blood from?
They didn't. He was incoherent. They were like, "What the hell? Are you all right?" All right.
I'm incoherent right now. Oh my God.
I know.
All right. I take it back. I think it's this guy. Or aliens.
Yeah. Now, the last suspect is probably the weakest one.
Okay.
But Pentti Soinen was a violent man, and he claimed to a fellow inmate that he was responsible for the crimes.
Okay.
But he was 14 at the time of the murders. And even though it's possible, it's unclear how a 14-year-old could overpower 4 teenagers, especially 2 strong 18-year-old boys. And he died by suicide on the 9th anniversary of the murders. So this was probably their weakest suspect, but because he mentioned it, I guess.
I think he's the second weakest, because I definitely don't think you can break your own jaw. Like, I'm hung up on that one.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
That one's there. So I think it's him, the 14-year-old. And then those other 3, man.
Right? It's really interesting.
The one who showed up in the ER incoherent, I think, is now my number 1.
I honestly think that he's probably their best shot.
Yeah.
But again, they don't have anything. At this point, it's still unsolved. So there have been no charges, evidence has been lost, and it still remains a mystery. So the tent is located in the police museum in Tampere, Finland. So, and actually I do have a picture of it that I have on the blog.
Okay. Oh, that's what that picture was. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It remains one of the most infamous unsolved homicide cases, and a warning parents pass on to their children to be careful and be on their best behavior, or they could fall victim to the phantom of Lake Bodom murderer. So there's a couple fun facts.
Okay.
I really like, again, like, you know how I'm the rock band person. So the Finnish death metal band Children of Bodom named their band.
Oh my gosh.
As a tribute to the event.
Okay.
And also there is apparently a pretty good mini documentary series on Shudder called Lake Bodom. I think it might be on Netflix now. But at this point, it is unsolved.
Wow.
And I don't think it's going to be solved.
I think we solved it.
We did. It's probably Hans. It's
okay.
probably this Hans guy.
So, yeah. I mean, it's the dude who showed up incoherent. He's my number 1.
Mm-hmm. He's the number 1.
Then it was the other guy you talked about, the guy before him, the guy who threw rocks. Right. Yeah.
Carl throws rocks.
Carl throws rocks. Then there's the 14-year-old.
See, I would go with the survivor over the 14-year-old, because I think it is weird that his shoes. I think it's weird. I don't know.
But how do you know the Hans Gruber guy didn't just put the shoes on thinking, here, I have new shoes, because he's incoherent and fucked. And then he's like, wait, these shoes don't fit. And he took them off, like in Die Hard.
I mean, you know what? That's true. That's fair.
I mean, you know what? I'm totally changing my answer. I'm back on aliens.
It seems at this point that's the best we got, because...
I mean, there's that really weird lake in Russia, so is that near Finland?
I don't think it's near this particular lake, but there's a lot of weird things. But this is one of those where it's like people still go there. People still visit Lake Bodom because it is very pretty, but there is that this is where it happened type of thing. It's very creepy.
This is why you don't go tent camping. Mm-hmm. I need a door. I need it to lock. I need a bathroom because I'm not being dirty. I'm sorry. This is why. These are the reasons. I mean, it's not really a vanity thing. It's really a safety thing at this point. And the bears have a harder time getting in there than they do a tent. I mean, granted, I still have yet to get a bear box, but that's between me and Jesus at this point because nobody wants to listen. And I guess it's my turn. It's my turn. That was, yes, that is the story I thought it was. There were details that I totally either didn't know or didn't remember, which was fun. And, yeah, let us know who you think it was. Because...
yeah. We'll take a poll.
We're all going to agree it's aliens. But, I mean,
absolutely, that's the front runner.
Yeah.
But.
Number one.
If you were to pick another suspect, who seems
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
likely?
That's a very good way to put it. Okay. So now we're going to Sweden.
Yay!
Sweden. And this is honestly something I've not heard of this one. Like, I found something I have not heard of.
That's exciting.
I was jazzed. So I am covering where did I write it down? How to say it? Borgvattnet vicarage in Sweden. So this is known as Sweden's most haunted location. It's in the small village of Jamtland. I'm so sorry if you're Swedish. I can barely speak English most days. Forgive me now. And it's in Jamtland County, and it's in northern Sweden. And it's reported that there are only about 50 residents, and this is one of the smallest towns, villages in Sweden.
Oh.
Fun. So, a vicarage in Sweden. Let's take a drink every time I say Sweden. So, in Sweden, a vicarage is a residence provided by the church for a clergyman, typically a vicar, and their family. I think a vicar's like a priesty type thing.
So, that makes sense.
So, this vicarage sits isolated in a rural area surrounded by forests and desolate terrain. Can't wait to go there. It was constructed in 1876 for the local priest of the Swedish Lutheran Church. Hold on. This is like super small right now. It's really annoying me. Oh, fudge me. Okay. I can't read the words. There we go. Okay. The first official reported haunting took place in 1927. And this is why I was smiling during your story. So Niels Hedlund, he's the vicar at the time, and he writes a letter recalling that when he was younger, his family lived in the vicarage because his father was a vicar. You know.
Okay.
I guess they pass it down. Who knows? But they are actually living in the vicarage, and unfortunately, his mother passes away during childbirth on April 11th, 1907, giving birth to their 8th child. 8. I got to 8.
8.
All right. So she died in either the yellow room or the pink room. I've read a couple articles that said both. His father, Per, P-E-R, Per, again, was the vicar at the time. He couldn't face the fact that his wife passed away. So he left her in the house for like longer than you really should have. And then I guess when she started to decay, he buried her in the backyard instead of a normal Christian burial, which, you know, it's a vicarage. Like
It's right. You would think
there are rules. You know, where's your checklist? We have things we need to do here. He didn't do any of them. So when the locals found out a few days later, they demanded he bury Marta in the cemetery. Per agreed, but the next day when people came over to help him, like dig up the body and move it, the whole family had disappeared with Marta's body. I know. Years later, after his father died, Niels came back and moved back in the vicarage as the new vicar. And that is when his experiences started. So there were strange happenings. They started small, like weird noises, footsteps, thinking you're hearing somebody talking, all that fun stuff. And then one day he's out there in his garden and his laundry is being forcibly pulled off the drying rack. So like the drying line. He says there was no wind, but he could clearly see the laundry was being pulled. He said in an interview for Church Records, quote, "As I was bringing in laundry from the line, it was suddenly ripped from my hands by something I couldn't see. There was no wind."
Huh.
I don't like that.
Was it dried at least?
I think so, because he was bringing it in.
Oh, okay.
So it must have been
If
dry.
it's wet and it's like on the mud, that
It's even worse.
it's even worse.
Yeah. Okay, so then in 1930, Headland's successor, Vicar Rudolf Tengden, he experienced something strange as well. He saw a lady. She was dressed in gray at the house, and she was walking towards him through the big hall. But then she decided to take a turn into the expedition room. That's like their office. That's what it's called. Like, I thought it was like, ooh, like, you know, we have artifacts from all our expeditions, like, you know, the Yeti and the Mothman and all the... No, it's not that cool. It's just his office. So he followed her because he's like, what's this bitch doing in my house? Yeah, let me go find her. And when he got into the office, there was no one there.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That checks.
In 1936, Otto Lindgren and his wife moved into the vicarage. They didn't see any apparitions, but they did have lots of paranormal stuff happen. So they heard footsteps, weird walking through the house, doors opening and closing, doors slamming, as if somebody was going from room to room looking for something. Like they heard the rustling of somebody moving through the house. Mrs. Lindgren had a strange encounter. So she was home alone when she heard music coming from the kitchen. Now the door to the kitchen was shut. So she walks up to the door and she opens it. And as she opens it, the music suddenly stops. And she's like, well, that was fucking weird. Checks it out. Nobody's there. Later on that same day, Otto comes home. And when he's there, they both hear the music coming from the kitchen. And he's like, what the fuck? And she goes, yeah, you go check that out. Go look. And she follows him over there. And the second he opens the door, the music stopped again.
Yep.
Checks.
Yep.
This one's really weird. So in 1940, Inga Floden, so she was a diocese secretary who was in the area on business. So she stayed here. She was in the guest room and woke up at 3 a.m. We all love 3 a.m. feeling as if she was being watched. So when she had woken up enough and her eyes kind of adjusted, she saw 3 ladies gazing at her from the couch that was opposite the bed. So input that she looked at me and I looked at him, like, you know that. And she's like, what the fuck? So she turns on the light and the ladies are still there. But she can see through them. So she can see the back of the couch through these 3 ladies. I hate doing this at night. This is like the worst idea I've ever had in my entire life. So, okay. So Inga describes the women. So one lady was dressed in black, one lady was in purple, and the other was wearing gray. Okay. Inga said all 3 looked kind of sad, especially the lady in gray. 2 of them had their hands in their laps, and the third one was knitting. Later, Inga did admit she wasn't scared, like they weren't intimidating her, but she was definitely surprised. I'm surprised for you too, Inga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be surprising.
Yeah. In 1945, Vicar Eric Lindgren moved in. This is a different guy. Moved into the vicarage, and he immediately started to experience weird things. So on his first night, he said it was as if heavy furniture was being dragged from one side of the room to the other throughout the house. Now, this surprised Eric because none of his furniture had arrived yet and all the rooms were empty.
This is great. Just having a good time.
Fucking party on, ghosties. I don't know what to tell you. So from then on, Eric kept a journal with all the strange happenings. Okay. After that, he purchased a rocking chair and got delivered to the house. I don't know. I actually wrote dumb, right? Dumb. I mean, a rocking chair never fares well in fucking haunted places. Like, just don't do it.
It really doesn't.
So one night, he's sitting in said rocking chair reading a book. When he's pushed out of the chair so violently that he falls to the floor. Then, and this blows my fucking mind, He sits back in the fucking rocking chair to finish reading his book. Like, what? Did you think there was an earthquake and you went bloop out? Like, what did you think fucking happened? So he goes...
He's just like, excuse me.
Yeah. So he goes to sit in the fucking rocking chair again, and something blocks him, causing him to fall over a second time.
I think that's really funny.
I'm good. I'm so good. Then, derp leaves the rocking chair in the house. So randomly he'd walk by it and it would just start rocking on its own.
No, just leave it outside.
I'm sorry, the first time I got pushed out of it, I would have dragged that shit outside and had a fucking bonfire. But that's just me.
It lives in the woods.
It doesn't live here anymore. It lives in the woods now.
It lives in the woods.
It is one with nature. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. So later that year, we're still in 1947, Eric goes to some big gathering and there's a bunch of vicars there and he's telling them about the ghosts. And a journalist overhears this and immediately picks up the story. And that is how this vicarage has become so famous. So the article was published December 4th, 1947. In it, it talked about people hearing footsteps, candles that blew themselves out, and that he sometimes bumped into an unseen person. Yeah. He also said there were footsteps in the garden over the little wooden footbridge, but then when he went out there or looked out the window, nobody was there. I'm good. He also said that he felt uncomfortable in his office, like he was being watched, or someone was behind him reading like his work over his shoulder. Now, all of this is super controversial because clergy people, they don't talk about ghosts. Ghosts aren't in the Bible. Ghosts aren't a thing. We don't talk about them, you know? You know, number one rule about Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club. It's that type of thing. Right. Especially in 1947. So now we're going to jump ahead about 30 some odd years, and the vicarage catches the attention of an outsider priest. So a priest is coming in. His name is Tor Forsland. He is also known as the ghost priest. So he takes it upon himself to go to quote unquote haunted places and pray the demons away, I guess. So this guy is known as a devoted enemy of the occult, and he comes to town promising the residents that he is going to rid the vicarage of these apparitions. And the citizens are like, guy, we're kind of making money off this, so we'd prefer you didn't. Like, cool, great, could you not? But he goes to the vicarage and he stays there. And unfortunately, or fortunately for the town, his exorcisms don't work. And he leaves within a year. Yeah, like he doesn't even make it a full year. So I'm absolutely positive the ghosts were like, fuck you then. We're not playing this game. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. So right now, the vicarage is a haunted bed and breakfast. And the ghosts are still hanging out. So we have the yellow room, which again is one of the possibilities of where Marta died. Guests see shadows in this room and sometimes feel someone pulling on their clothes. Some guests have claimed to see a dent on the bedspread as if someone is sitting there with them. There is the blue room, and people claim to have been woken up by the sound of heavy furniture being moved around and by their bed sheets being pulled off of them in the middle of the night. They say it's caused by a small boy whose apparition has been seen in this room. There's also the sound of a baby screaming, and sometimes people feel sad or extremely depressed here. Yeah. Now we'll move on to the pink room. So again, this is another option for where Marta could have passed away. But there's also a story that at the end of the 19th century, there was a 19-year-old girl who was pregnant and locked inside this room. she was a maid at the vicarage and she was disgraced because, she's pregnant and she's not married. But the pregnancy was probably a result of either a rape or some sort of relationship with a priest.
There it is.
Then, when the child was born, it was either stillborn or murdered right after birth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds very, very religious.
Yeah, suffer the little children. The rumor is the baby was then buried at the north side of the house, just outside of the pink room. Both mother and child haunt this room. Sounds of screaming, a baby crying, and a small shadow figure have all been experienced here. All right, I'm coming to the end. So recently, a tall, dark man wearing a hat has been seen in the expedition room. And then there are strange images in the mirrors. There are singing radiators, cold spots, and strange light reflections all throughout the house. Oh, and the rocking chair, it's still there.
Yeah.
You can book a room at the Borgvattnet vicarage if you dare. You can even rent out the entire house if you wanted to. And anybody who makes it through the entire night receives a diploma to mark their honor for making it through the house. And that is the Borgvattnet vicarage in Sweden.
I feel like I would have maybe liked a t-shirt instead, but a diploma works for me too.
I mean, we could go, hear me out. We could go and stay there. We can rent out the whole place. We'll do we'll get a couple people to go with us. We'll all go to Sweden and we'll all stay in this place. And then we'll get our diplomas, take a picture of ourselves with the diplomas, and then we'll have that picture put on a t-shirt and then we can wear the t-shirt.
That makes a lot of sense. That does make sense. I like it.
Oh my God, we can even do that thing where it's like I survived the Borgvattnet vicarage and all I got was this fucking t-shirt.
And all I got was this t-shirt. I like it.
There you go. All right. Well, this was a short one, but I feel it was a good one.
Yeah, it was fun.
A lot happened here.
It was fun. A lot happened.
Things were said.
On our Eurotrip.
Yeah. A lot happened on our Eurotrip. You were absolutely correct. So thank you for joining us today. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials. We have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There's a TikTok, but maybe don't go find. Well, follow the TikTok, but there's only 3 videos on there. So enjoy those 3 videos constantly. Make sure that you like, share, comment on all of our stuff. Sharing is caring. If you're on YouTube, like the video and ring the bell. If you are all caught up and want more content, you can always join our Patreon. It starts at $5 a month. So you can get to our Patreon by going to our website, deathbeforebooze.com, and clicking on Patreon. While you're there, if you would like a t-shirt, a water bottle, a mug, I don't know, with our logo on it, you can go to merch and get it from there. All of our sources and pictures from today's episode are also on our website under the blog. Make sure that you are keeping an ear out for the 3rd Monday of every month where we do Missing Monthly. And I think I covered everything. We love you so much. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Stay spooky.